I don't know how to tell exactly when it starts. It says I'm live, so I'm going to say hi and give it a couple seconds. And anybody who's on, can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, you can hear me? Okay, cool. All right. You can hear me. Yay. Hey, Diane, Susan, Darcy, Sherilyn. Yes. My producer just noticed that I am vertical. Remember when I said I was having technical difficulties? It's not necessary. It's not technical with. Sherry's here. It's not technical because of the computer or anything. It's me. I'm having technical difficulties. I was trying to get fancy and do a stream, like using Restream, which is a software, and I can have multiple cameras, and I can move from one camera to another. Well, you know, I don't like to read directions. And
Did it disconnect again?
mm-hmm. And evidently I am having technical difficulties. I can tell the future. So, yeah. So if I go in and out and I'm told I'm blurry and I'm stuck. Hey, Linda, Ruth, Rita. Yeah, Rita, my picture's blurry. You know, internet, the technical gods aren't gonna cooperate with me necessarily. So if I go in and out, I apologize. Oh, good, Darcy, it's better. All right, Rita, hi. Dee, hello. Sharon, hi. I'm sure I missed some of you, but hi to everybody. I don't want to leave anybody out. So as I said a minute ago, I am going to talk about quilt labels. So there are different ways to do quilt labels. And like I said, I'm awful about quilt labels. Now, my mother does it the easiest way. And I couldn't find a quilt with her way of doing a quilt label on it because, you know, I was looking for one. So let me grab a quilt over here. Where is a quilt that's done? Well, this is not a very great. Oh, sorry. Okay. So what my mother does is there we go. Okay. She takes a Sharpie, just a regular everyday Sharpie, and she writes the note directly on the quilt. So I've got this quilt.
Difficulties are running in your wheelhouse today.
Yes, yes they are. I'm thinking, okay, so here, I'm gonna put it on the back of my quilt. And she usually picks a white block, like right here. It's light. Now I could use brown or blue or whatever color. Maybe I'll do like this aqua blue because I think that would be pretty. And there's some aqua blue in the front of this. And all I'm doing is going to put a label that just says who made it and what year it is. So, and I've got some samples too. But you can take it from simple to really elaborate. So this is simple. It's like, let's see, here we go. We're gonna call this Tim Holtz fabric. quilt. You know, I'm really being quite creative with the name. And I'm going to put April. I'll put April's Craft Room. And I'm doing all caps. And I think I made it this year. Oh, also people put where. So I will put Fisherville. KY. And 2024. So now this, I don't know who I'm giving this to yet. So I don't have anything to say, you know, there's not a personal message on this right now because I don't know what I'm going to say or who I'm going to give it to. But this is it. This is the simplest form of a quilt label. And it preserves your handwriting. It gives information. Tim Holtz fabric quilt. I bet this is Tim Holtz fabric. April's Craft Room. I wonder what that is, you know, 100 or 20 years from now. Who is April and what's her craft room? And then the town and the state and the year. So when we were in Biloxi, Mississippi, we went to a thrift store and there were some quilts there. This is actually not a quilt. I guess this is a table topper. So I'm going to go with table topper. And I couldn't leave it. It looks like there's some, I don't know if this is hand stitching. I don't think so. I think it was machine quilted. Of course, you've got your stars. And it, I mean, just so sweet. And there's a label on the inside. And it's like, I can't leave this. Somebody spent a lot of time making this. Now this looks like maybe it was a quilt label that was made. I know I've gotten, I think you can get fabric that has empty quilt labels and then you just write on them and attach them to your quilt. So this one, don't go out. So this one says Christmas stars, top from old quilt pieces found at yard sales, machine quilting by Judy, and I cannot read that name. It ends in AGE something. Obviously, this is her handwriting. Biloxi, Mississippi, December 2002. So I had to bring it home because I couldn't leave it behind. And then oh, Melanie, hey. I was in Biloxi to a class, everything embroidery. It wasn't a class, it was a convention. And I learned about, what was the software package we learned about? Embrilliance. Yeah, so we learned about Embrilliance and then we saw there were a bunch of vendors there and mostly we took classes about Embrilliance. And ate well.
There was a breakfast place we ate at. I don't know what it was. Remember the last day?
Oh, yeah.
It had a pea on it. Oh no. Man, it was good.
Melanie, did you mean, can you expand on exactly what you meant? Like, what are we doing here now? What was I doing in Mississippi? Just give a little bit more info so I can answer your question.
You want to know what you were doing there.
All right. This, now I've shown you the quilt jacket that I'm working on. Okay. So here's my quilt jacket, and this was at the same thrift store, and this was the label on it. So I don't know if you can tell, but on the top and bottom, it's actually embroidery. So this was just a handmade quilt label. And I'm trying to think, yeah, so she just folded the fabric on the back just to make enough room for her to write. and then used the embroidery to just hold it in place. So it says, oh, you know what? It says Christmas traditions. What did the other one say? This may be the same person. Judy Flanagan. Oh, this is the same person. Okay, so these were both made by the same person. Christmas Traditions, Judy Flanagan, Biloxi, Mississippi, 1994. So this is more like what I did. She went into detail on this one and then did the embroidery. So you could do some special embroidery around just a piece of fabric that you cut out and then just write in pen or permanent marker. This almost looks like pen. I can't tell. But it's been through the wash and it has survived, so it has some permanency to it. So this is also an option. Or you could also just embroider your whole quilt label. You could put, you know, some decorative stitching around. You could put your name and just do everything in embroidery. If that's, you know, if you're more apt to use your embroidery machine to do something like this. All right, I am more apt to use sublimation. So we're going to do some sublimation, and I am going to do it with my Cricut press. I have the first Cricut press that came out, so I'm trying to keep it from going off right now. And actually, there's somebody who has asked us to do these sublimation labels for their quilts, which is what even gave me the idea. So don't think it's, you know, an idea that I had myself, because I don't have those very often. All right, so the poem, okay, just, oh, there we go. I can like turn it on. Okay, did you see it on here?
I sent it to you on email.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to go out to email.
I'm going to put this in my bag.
We are having technical difficulties. Which email? April _?
Yeah.
Story. Oh, gosh. I don't remember my password.
Oh, good Lord.
I have different password for everything, and I don't ever remember any of them. Can you send it to aprilscraftroom@gmail.com?
I'm trying.
Thank you. Okay.
Good Lord.
So I have a Sawgrass sublimation printer, and Sherry and I have a company and we make shirts. So we started out with your typical vinyl, and then we thought about sublimation. Sublimation is kind of hard because it's very particular about what kind of fabric you use. So sublimation works best on polyester. So if you have something that's 100% polyester, that is perfect for sublimation. Another downfall is sublimation doesn't have white. Like, there is no color white ink. I think there are white toner printers, but you can't use dark colors with sublimation. So you want to use like white or cream, some color that's light that will show what your image is. And the best is to use like black on white, and then it shows up best. And what sublimation is, when it's heat pressed onto something, that heat turns into a gas and adheres to the polyester fabric. So it's not sitting on top of the fabric, it's in the fabric. So if you have a 100% polyester shirt and you put an image on it, it's not going to go away. I've got 100% polyester shirts, and the image is just as vibrant as when I pressed it, even after I wash it. And I don't do anything special, but that's 100% polyester. The label that I'm going to use is some fabric that I found at Joann's. It's 65% poly and 35% cotton. so I should get a decent image out of this. I'm using my Cricut Easy Press, the old one, and it only goes up to 360 degrees. Truly, when you do sublimation, you should do 400 degrees, but we're going to see how this works out. All right, so I have on my sawgrass, did you do it as JPEG or PNG?
PNG.
I need JPEG.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to get in so trouble. Okay, so let me read you what the little prayer says. Ow! I just had a pin just sitting here and it stuck me. That's karma. Okay, prayer quilt. I'm a little prayer quilt to hold in your hand for when trouble arises, the things you did not plan. Hold me tight in your fist if it helps calm your fears, and don't be afraid to use me to wipe away your tears. So these are actually for little quilts that are prayer quilts, and they have the quilt on the front and then they put this on the back. Isn't that sweet? I like that. So in order to print it in Print Manager, which is the Sawgrass application that I use, the Sawgrass software, it only does JPEGs. Or it doesn't do PNGs. I don't know if it only does JPEGs, but it does not do PNGs. Let me go turn it on. Okay, and I will show you the printer when it's printing. All right, let's go see. Yeah. It does that on JPEGs now, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. All right, so it's getting wound up. So does anybody have any questions? What's everybody working on? Oh, and I had a question too. We'll see. Okay, so there aren't any questions yet. There was somebody, a friend of my niece's who watches my channel. She had a suggestion for a challenge, a quilt challenge. And I thought that would be kind of fun. You know, we're getting into the season now where we're starting to make gifts. Not that we don't make gifts all year, but you know, if you celebrate Christmas, then you're probably starting to think about gifts for people. And if you're a quilter, of course, you're gonna, you know, want to make things that people would enjoy. And I don't know what type of challenge we could do. Does anybody have any suggestions? I was thinking like, I don't know, make a quilt with half square triangle blocks. It's nothing that anybody's going to win, but it's something that we could work on, talk about, share what we've done, when we finished. Ooh, yeah, Trucker Janie. You know I love your quilts, and I love tie-dye. That would be, I bet it's gonna be pretty. And GT, I don't know if you come to the lives. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for your loss. Makes me sad. Okay, here we go. Okay. Oh, look, it's Maxine. Okay, I have to tell you this. I call her, we call her Maxie Pad.
Mad Max.
And Mad Max. She has multiple names.
Linda.
I just got in trouble with my producer.
Little Linda.
But it's funny. It's funny.
It's a pretty girl. It's a pretty girl.
Gomez, so you're working on, don't bring up the cross thing, Gomez. My sister-in-law hasn't gotten hers yet. So I'm so bad.
Nope.
I'm going to give it to her. I think that's awesome that you're doing a fundraiser. I'm actually donating a quilt for a fundraiser too. Okay. Maybe that's what we could do. I could we could all do the challenge together, and then I'll make a quilt and I will gather everybody's names and then whoever participated in the challenge, and then we'll draw a name, and whoever gets their name drawn gets my quilt. I don't know if that's good or bad, but what do you think?
Karen's story clapped.
Karen Story's here.
She
Hey.
says, yes, bring me my quilt. Kathy Roach said, she said make bow tie.
Yes.
Blocks.
Yes, I can. Wouldn't that be cool? Yes, so dye, yes, because you can do so much with HSTs. Okay. Yep, I gotcha. Okay. That thing is putting off some heat. Okay, I've got it. So let me go here to my print manager, open local file, and this is just going to be in black. So it should show up really well on this. All right, where is it? Prayer quilt. Okay. All right, polyester high quality layout. Jobs. Okay, I need to resize it, so I'm gonna do 8.5. Let's do 8 by, will it let me do this? 10. Nope, it's just gonna do 8 by 8. That's fine. Warning, warning, warning. It's not going, I hate it when it does this. Letter 8.5 by 11. One or more jobs will not fit. Why won't you fit?
Is it because it's got too many?
I don't know. We're gonna print it and see what happens.
I can always cut it.
Yep. Well, we have to cut it anyway, so. Okay, so I'm going to print, and then I'll show you guys. Well, maybe it may not let me do it if it won't fit. So confused.
These scissors are there for paper.
Oh, thank you, Norma. Okay, what size is this?
8.5. Yeah. Can we remove one and just put it on there single?
Oh, wait. Can I? Will it let me edit it? Let me open it up in preview. Hold on.
Are these scissors that can cut paper?
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. Can I remove something? Convert this to a PNG. No.
I'll do it.
Okay.
I gotta take my phone.
All right.
Where's my phone? Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to cover you up for a second. I'm going to swing you around, maybe. All right. Let me, whoop. There we go. Okay, so this is my printer. It's also a useful little table, and it sits right next to my print moda. Let me show you. I don't know if I've shown you guys some things that I've printed on my print moda. So this is sublimation. So I can put this on 100% polyester. And when you print sublimation, the colors on the print are not the colors that you're going to see when you actually press that sublimation ink into your project. It's much more vibrant than what it appears. Now here, these are my daughter's kitties, Frisco and Flossie, and this is actually on fabric, and I printed it on my print moda printer. So I'm working on getting a bunch of pictures together and doing something with a quilt with these. The only thing is they don't suggest you wash them. So maybe as opposed to a quilt, I might do like a wall hanging. Okay, and then the paper that I use, it's called A-Sub. So there's sublimation ink that you have to use, and you can just refill, like if you buy an Epson printer new, you can buy sublimation ink, and instead of filling the little ink wells with the ink that came with it, you just put sublimation ink in there. And then you have to use sublimation paper. How you coming?
Put it on that sandpaper.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay. I don't think so. Oh my gosh. You know, I'm having trouble. See, I spoke negatively and said I was having technical difficulties when I should say I am a technical genius. I can do anything. Because, you know, we have to do our positive affirmations. I am a sublimation whiz. I can do it. Did you send it to me yet? Really? You know what? I'm just going to go ahead. Let's see. Hold on. Let me go back to my print manager. Okay. Let me see. It tells me that it won't fit, but it won't tell me what would. Okay, here we go. Oh, look, and it automatically, okay, so when you're doing sublimation, let me get that piece of paper. You are printing on the front of a piece of paper. Then, when you heat press it, you are going to press that image onto the material. So if you were to just put it in your computer the way you got it and not mirror it, then when you pressed it, it would come out backwards. But this software automatically mirrored it for me. Yay! All right, let me see. I did a 6. Let me see if I can do a 7, because these are going to be kind of small. Let me see if I can do 7.5. Okay, so now I'm going to print. And let me, hopefully it's doing something. Okay, I think I don't hear it doing anything. I keep putting this back, so let's watch the, oh, there we go, load paper. So picky, it wants paper. Let's hope I have paper. As you can tell, I'm so ready. You're actually supposed to be able to use just regular typing paper. I am a sublimation genius. I can do sublimation in my sleep. Okay, here we go. And you can actually get this paper, A-Sub, at Hobby Lobby. Okay, now I gotta remember which way I do it. Side paper tray opened. It's not gonna tell me, is it? Oh, I am going right side down. Let's see how that goes. Okay, there we go. Don't open any cover. All right. Here it comes, yay! Okay, so here it might actually be just right. And my A sub was on the back, so I did load it correctly. All right, so let's cut these up. Make sure it's straight. All right. Now, technically, and D is the one who told me this, in order not to have an edge that is stark, like you don't want your paper to be cut perfectly so that you don't have a line where your paper was on the fabric. So I am actually tearing this. You have to be careful because you can. I'm really not supposed to touch the ink either. I feel like I'm at an angle. Let me move this up. Well, first I have to loosen. Ah, there we go. Here. Okay. Okay. And she's saying it may not matter on this, but you know, if you get in the habit of it, then you don't have to worry about it. Okay. Now we'll do this. So this is for a prayer quilt, but you could do this same thing for your quilts. All right, so I'm gonna press that guy. This is my new Caterpillar mat that I have on my table, and I don't want to warp it, so I need to put something underneath it.
I got it up here, but I can't get it up here now.
Here, I need this wood.
You're not listening to me.
Nope,
I can't get it.
I'm not. Okay, I'm gonna put this wood under here. Hopefully that will prevent any warpage. Okay, so I have it at 360. Here's my fabric. And I just cut it bigger because I know that I can cut it down, and you can actually like use your pinking shears to cut the edges if you didn't want to do the stitching or fold the edges, or okay. Hold on. I need my butcher paper. And I don't have a little piece right here. Woohoo! All right. Okay. Thank you, Angela, for subscribing. The thing about sublimation, it can go through your fabric. So you want to protect, especially if you were using a heat press, even this, of course, you want to protect it. So you want to protect the bottom of your heat press, because if you get sublimation ink on it, then the next thing that you press might have sublimation ink on it. So you always want to protect your machinery. So I'm going to use butcher paper. You can use the sheets that are Teflon. You can use those, but you would have to wipe it down every time you use it, because the ink can also get on whatever it is you're using to protect your machine and what you're pressing on. So if you use it again, then what is on this could be transferred to your machine or to the whatever it is you're using to press the sublimation ink on with. Yeah, that's real easy to say, right? All right. Okay, let me know when I'm back.
You should have it, but now you've already got it. Right?
Okay. If I'm blurry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's a technological thing. All right. So I'm putting my butcher paper down on the surface to protect the surface on which I am pressing. Then I'm going to put what I am pressing on. And technically you should be using a roller to clean this off. We'll pretend. Then I'm going to take my prayer quilt and I'm going to put that on my fabric face down. So I can kind of see through the paper and I can see that it is the right way. It's prayer quilt, it's not backwards. Then I'm going to take another piece of butcher paper and I'm going to put that on top of what I am pressing. There's also heat tape if you need for it to stay in place, because if I were to press this and then lift up and put my press back down, I could cause it to, like to be a shadow there. I'm gonna try and be quick about it, but if you are at all shaky-handed or just you wanna be sure that you don't get a double vision type result, then use your heat tape. All right, so I'm gonna put this down. I'm gonna put pressure on it. I'm gonna press my timer. Normally I would use my heat press, but I didn't feel like, oh yeah. And this is heat tape. Oh, you should get the green thing.
What's the green thing?
Where it cuts it automatically.
That's what this came off of.
Oh yeah. So there's a dispenser that is pretty fun because it's green and I love it.
Lifesaver.
Yes, it is. It is a lifesaver. This seems like forever compared to vinyl or DTF. Now we pretty much use DTF. This, yes. So it holds 2 rolls, and I'll show you how I put it on there.
This is what they come out looking like.
Yeah, and then it cuts the tape, and it comes on here, and it's already cut for you.
Okay.
It's like a gift wrapper tape thing, and you could probably use it for wrapping regular gifts too, because it just cuts it. I'll show you. All right. So, it looks perfect.
Aww.
So here you can see the little prayer quilt. It's slick. And it came out. And this is what we're gonna use on the prayer quilts. That turned out really nice.
I typed that out if you want the JPEG, you can attach it.
Oh, okay. If anybody's interested in the JPEG for this, let me know. Sherry created it, so.
I just typed it out on my own.
Right. Yeah. Well, she didn't know how to link it below. I don't know how to link it below. I'm not.
Attach it.
Oh, you know what? I could email it to you and you could link it below.
I've got it. I sent it to you.
I know. That's why I'm going to send it to Dee.
Oh. I thought you were talking to me. I'm like, what?
Okay. All right. So here is heat transfer tape. Did you get the blue? There's blue in there. I got some blue. I'm so excited. It's in a white thing. You can't even tell it's blue. So what you do, I mean, this will hold, it holds tape here. Like you can put a roll on this, and then that comes across here, and there are teeth here. And then it holds a roll here, and it holds a roll here. And it's weird because you turn it clockwise. And as it turns, it cuts the tape. So you can like roll it forward, and then you've got multiple pieces of tape that are cut. It's, I don't know if you all used to do this where when you're wrapping presents, you would do the tape and then put it all along on the table so that you could just grab a piece while you had a hold of the wrapping paper.
You could link that in your
Yeah,
thing,
I'll put a link to
and
this
these
too.
and that. And
Alien, it's the alien tape measure. Okay, so let me put, oh here, I got blue.
Would
So
this work
excited.
too?
Yeah.
This and that?
Yeah, so this is the Teflon sheet that I was mentioning. You would just have to wipe it off in between to make sure that if any sublimation ink got on here, it's not going to stick forever, but if you don't wipe it off, then your next pass or project or the next thing you press might end up with that sublimation ink on it. All right, here, I'm gonna get the blue. And the way you load this is very weird. So, hold your tape back here. You put it on the little roller, and this holds 2 different rolls. Oh, I think this blue is perfect size. And then you have to kind of attach it to this roller dude to make it go under and back up around. It's like a Ferris wheel almost. So I'm going to tape it there, and then this slides. This one, it just rock and rolls because it's so skinny all over the thing, and I didn't get that to stick very well. Okay, I'm gonna put this in here. Ow! And then I'm gonna turn it. Let's see what it does. All right,
That one.
here we go. Yeah, it did because I messed that part up, but here we
they come
go.
off easy.
Yeah, there. So it's cut automatically. I'm so excited. Now I've got my blue and my other.
Why does it keep going?
I don't know.
Wait.
Okay. All right. So that is sublimation. There we go.
It was just on there.
This blue is nice and tight. This one still. So, yep. And like I said, it's got room. Oh, we could put one on the outside too. Then it's got room on the outside if you wanted another roll of tape. Anybody have any questions or any suggestions for future lives or videos? And so if there's interest in the challenge, I can work something up. All right, so I flip up this little black thing and put that there, and then the black is like, it goes back down and it's like a little shield, and yeah, okay. And then this is just like Scotch tape. You just stretch it across there and there are teeth. The cool thing about this is you can make the teeth disappear. It's real easy.
You need to go.
I just made it look hard.
Ireland trip.
Oh, yes. Okay. So you can make the pointy teeth things disappear, or you can turn it back on and they pop up.
Oh.
And a reminder about my trip to Ireland. It's in September of 2025. I would love it if you all would come with me. We can experience Ireland for the first time together, or I can experience Ireland for the first time if you've already been there with you. I'm looking forward to seeing all the old castles and, you know, in Ireland, things in the US that we think are old are not old when you compare them to Ireland, because, you know, they have really old. And then there are the cliffs and the beautiful fields and and leprechauns and the pot of gold. So I hope that you will look into the trip if you are interested. If you have any questions, definitely let me know.
You want to link it into the...
And we'll link it into the description of this video. And don't forget to try Skillshare. I have been doing some color theory classes in Skillshare, so I'm going to be using those and my color wheel right here. Yay, I've got a color wheel. Karen Carr, thank you. That's what I've heard. My mother's been before, and she's, you know, when we go in September of next year, so I'm excited. All right, anything else? All right, well, everyone have a wonderful Labor Day. If you have any ideas on things that you would like to see on future live streams or videos, definitely let me know. I do have a video coming out where I quilted the quilt, the To a T quilt. So that's coming up. And I've got a raining charms video, so where I'm going to use some charm squares. And I've just got all kinds of things planned for you guys. So have a great day, eat some chocolate, and be kind to everyone. Until next time, bye.
Hey, turn it off. Oh, you gotta do it.